Bridgton Academy has been preparing young men for the challenges of college and what lies ahead for over 200 years. Now we're giving you an inside look at the year that makes the difference through the eyes of one member of the class of 2016, his family, and the men and women of Bridgton Academy that make it happen. Nobody said it would be easy, but Cam Wilkins is going to share with you his year, the good, the bad, and the relationships he forges on his way to achieving his goals. Welcome to Bridging the Gap.
Before you got out of here, is I wanted to catch up with you and just get your quick thoughts on this entire semester. But think back even as far back to the colonnade and when you were standing in line, standing in line waiting to enter the colonnade, and what your thoughts were at that point versus where you are now. Have things gone kind of as you had anticipated? Have they gone better? Have they gone worse? Where are things at for you?
I had no idea what to expect coming in. I really had no anticipation.
Is it going better than you had hoped?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I didn't think it was going to be bad. I just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, you just kind of, whatever, it was just going to be what it was. And
yeah.
What do you think, what stands out, if I were to say this surprised me the most about myself, what would you say surprises you?
That I have the ability I had the potential to succeed and really get the grades that I am able to get.
How would you compare what you do now, the effort you're putting in now, versus what you were doing in high school?
Almost completely, twice as much, not even twice more, just so much more than last year. Last year was minimum to nothing, and now it's as much as I can do.
Okay, appreciate your honesty. Compare the workload and what the expectations, high school versus what you're seeing this year.
I have less classes now, but the work makes up for the lack of extra classes.
And then the other piece that I always like to talk to guys about, what about when you have to try to balance in athletics? I mean, you obviously had a really demanding schedule with hockey in high school. How would you compare, contrast? Maybe it's easier here because you don't have to travel as far with the sheet right on campus here. Talk a little bit about how you try to balance out academics and athletics.
It's definitely different. I wouldn't say easier or harder. It's just a different experience overall because, like you said, it was right here.
Yeah, the forced study hall. I think it's a lament for a lot of guys, but it's also one of those kind of blessings in disguise for a lot of guys.
Definitely.
How have you found study hall to be for you this year?
Extremely helpful. There's no better time to get your work done. There's no distractions. There's nothing else going on. And I've rarely done work outside of my room besides finals week in terms of studying and homework because I get it all done in the 2 hours. I bear down to get it all done.
What about accessibility to teachers? And I was thinking more about during study hall, but maybe just in general terms. Talk a little bit about accessibility of your teaching faculty.
It's been great, absolutely great. I found that they were always available when I emailed them or talked to them, so I never had a problem with that.
Put yourself in my shoes. All right? I'm interviewing a young man who is basically completed with his first semester at Bridgton Academy. What question should I ask you?
That's cold. That's cold. That's dirty school right there.
Are you doing the best that you can? Are you making the most of it? Like Mr. Gailey said, don't count the days, make the days count.
So, I'll flip that. It's a great question.
Are you making the days count?
So one of the questions that I ask all students during the interview process is think about your hardest teacher that you've had in high school. And I ask guys to describe, why are they your hardest teacher? Because it's a really vague question, a really vague term. And then I ask them to think about how that teacher would describe them as an individual. Who was that teacher for you in high school? Who was your hardest teacher?
Physics was definitely a challenge. The teacher was great in helping you and everything, but the class, just no matter what you did, was just always a struggle for everybody, I would say.
What do you think that teacher would say about the Cam Wilkins as a student today versus the one last year?
That is a completely different person.
Different person?
Yep.
Why different
In
person?
terms of academics, maybe even maturity and stuff like that.
And what would you attribute most of that change to?
Just the structure and finally getting everything and realizing how much it actually matters
What matters?
before college. Grades and just carrying all
And
that stuff.
Workload
Yeah.
and everything? Or work ethic? I guess.
Right, yeah, that's the word.
What advice would you give to the young man who's put yourself in that, where you were a year ago, waffling, what do I do, where do I go, Bridgton, what would you give him for advice?
You really have to decide if you think you're ready for college, not if your parents are, not if anybody in school. It's just what you think you're ready for, and don't just say, oh, I'm going to go to college because all my friends are. If you really think you need the extra year, definitely take it, but if not, definitely go to college. It should be your decision, not anyone else's.
I think we'll end on that.
Sounds good to me.
That was a good one.
So, first semester's almost over. This will be the 6th video in the series. I think from Cam's standpoint, it's fun to watch him get more comfortable with the process.
Well, I just watched him during this shoot right here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what my first questions were, just trying to get him rolling, and then he did. It's funny because that would be the biggest difference. Thinking back to video one that his mom or dad shot.
Hi, I'm Cam Wilkins, and I will be attending Bridgton Academy as part of the class of 2016, which I'm very excited about.
And literally the one-word answers, if that.
Just being spoon-fed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Like just people just going,
Give
me more.
Yanking words out of him.
To where he's able to make some. I mean, obviously he's a kid, so he's allowed to be nervous. But
Yeah, but he reflected.
yeah,
He was able to reflect on what was going on, and he was able to very astutely talk about his transformation.
I wonder how much.
It's true, too. I've seen it.
The story behind the story behind the story. I wonder if he's doing really well academically.
He's killing it academically.
Right? So he's doing really well. I wonder if part of the reason that he's doing really well is because he knows there's documentation of this experience.
Follow Coach Zimmer. Boom.
Academics are well within his control. Athletics, not so much. And that would be the storyline for any of our guys is they're going to come in here with a God-given talent and ability level with regard to athletics. Academics, a lot of it comes back to grit. How hard are you willing to work? How much, the big perseverance, the P word there.
Academically, he is working very hard. Say he's never worked harder. Off camera said that to me, so this has been the hardest I've ever had to work. Didn't start out that way, but as the year moved on, the intensity bumped up.
What's he said about athletics with regard?
Not much. He just did, yeah, it's fun. I'm working hard.
That will be
I don't know
the
if he's...
post-season follow-up will be an important one.
Because I'm not sure if he's that into it anymore.
I wonder. And that again would be a neat story, not a neat storyline, but an appropriate storyline because we do see a large enough amount of students that come in and go, oh, this is what college athletics is like.
Sort of find out.
Maybe I don't really want to do this.
Although even from the very beginning of the year, he was of the mind, this is the last year I'm playing hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, he was not hell-bent on playing college hockey.
Yeah. Would you do this again?
Yeah, I would.
Should we make it an annual event?
Yeah. It's awesome publicity once we get the hang of how to market it. The more we do it and the more we get better at doing it, if people would come to us asking us about it, it'd be huge.
When this concept was in my brain, I actually could see kind of how I wanted it to play out long term, and it's certainly promoting the school, but in more than just telling it from the student and the parent perspective, I want us out in front of other educators long term. I want me, you, go to a conference and present this is our story. These are, and that's why I'm glad. Are you still recording on this?
Yeah, should be. Let me just make sure.
But yeah, I want to make sure that we are capturing everything, all the behind the scenes stuff, and capturing what went well, what didn't go well.
All right, what do you think?
Good.
Excellent.